can ignore all that stuff and let the casino just have their built-in edge and not be succumbed to shoving all in all the games that you play. This is the key, okay? It's not gonna make you a winner, it's gonna make you less of a loser. And I think that's super important. We have a grounding in that reality. We're gonna talk today about some casino myths. And it's been on my mind for a while to do this. This is our first, separate the fly shit from the pepper kind of a talk, right? Casino myths, and they're everywhere. And if you search for casino myths on YouTube or search for on Google, you'll find 1,000 websites and 1,000 videos about, and I'll put some of them up here today. You'll see some of them of the classic casino myths. And I think some of these things maybe used to be true. I think that they are less and less true today. And the reason why this is a good talk to have, and maybe this is like the first chapter of my book instead of the 19th chapter of my book, but you got to know like what people are saying about it and how it may affect your brain. So let's just dive in and look at some of the classic casino myths and what's really going on there. So the first one is going to be this: there are no clocks in a casino. And this is a true statement. There are no clocks in a casino. The myth is there are no clocks in the casino because the casino thinks that you're too stupid to know what time it is, and you're going to lose track of time, right? You have a watch, you got your phone now. That may have been true at one point. At one point, that may have been true. The casinos may have had so little respect for humanity that they thought if we don't give them any windows and don't give them any clocks, they'll never know what time it is and they'll stay here forever. I think that's a bunch of BS. There's also no clock at the supermarket or Staples or Kohl's or whatever store you're going to. There's no clocks in there either. It's not a thing for businesses to put big clocks up, right? They just don't, nobody does that anyway, right? So to say that there's no clocks because they think you're a degenerate is ludicrous. They're going to keep you in the casino, not because you don't know what time it is, but because of all the other things that are going on. They have enough distractions. They have the music. They got the whatever you call it, the barely scantily clad waitress. They have all the things going on to keep you there. They don't need that one little thing of you not knowing what time it is. That's a load of garbage. So it's true that there are no clocks. It's not true that there's no clocks because they're trying to screw you. So there's that one. The next one is this. I've heard this a million times. You probably have too. Oxygen and air fresheners are pumped in. Okay. This is actually true to a point, okay? If they're pumping in oxygen to the level that people think they are, okay, the myth is they're putting in so much oxygen to keep you alert and awake, right? If there was that much oxygen being pumped in there and everybody's smoking, the place would go up in flames, right? They're not doing that, right? Now, are they air purifying? Absolutely. Is there oxygen in the air purifier? For sure. Are there nice scents in the air purifier? Yes. Why? Because people are disgusting. Okay. We are gross creatures. We're burping. We're passing gas. We're smoking cigars and cigarettes. Everybody's got bad breath because you're there for 9 hours, right? They're putting in smells to cover up your smell and make the place pleasant. You've walked into a casino. We all have the old shitty ones where the floor is sticky. The carpet's old and it smells like death. Like we have a couple of those here in Seattle where these old, like bingo hall casinos, they're terrible because the smoke just sits in there, right? No, they have these great systems where they purify the air for your pleasure, right? It's not to keep you awake. It's to keep you from leaving because it stinks so bad. This is true, okay? So the myth is false in terms of why they do it. It's not to keep you alert and awake. It's to keep you happy. Okay, happy people spend their money. Happy people part with their money more willingly. Let's just put it that way. So that goes back to the first myth too, right? There's lots of distractions to keep you happy. The air smells good to keep you happy. And if you're happy, you will spend your money and stay longer. That's just the way that it is, okay? The next one is this. Casinos are a maze with no 90, I've heard this exactly, with no 90-degree angles. You ever heard this myth? I joke about it like there's a Rite Aid pharmacy near me. And it's really only one of them does this, but one of the Rite Aids around me, every aisle, like some of them are on angles and some of them are squares. Everything is jacked up. You're always bumping into shit trying to find where the Advil is, right? I was like, God, these people went to the casino school of interior design because everything's a mess trying to get around it. Look at the two pictures here. And I got this picture actually from this website. I'm going to show you this. This is a great website to go to. Let me get my browser open up, Firefox here. Because this is a really interesting take on this. The old days, this was probably true. I think this is what we're seeing here is the evolution of the casino model in some ways. Okay, let me share my screen and show you this website where I got this picture from. This is actually super cool. Let me zoom in here a little bit. An inside look at the secrets of casino design. And the person here researches this, and the premise of this article is that the casinos used to be designed chaotically as a maze, as impossible to get through. You're always bumping into a machine or whatever else, right? There is some of that true to an extent in terms of where they want your vision to be. But the pathways are no longer crazy, right? The pathways now make more sense. They make it a playground where here's the nice organized pit. Here's, tables around the pit that you can hear things with. Instead of it being a disaster, on the right side now we have what they call playground style design. And I think that again is more to make your time there more pleasant, right? Instead of being pissed off and frustrated, like, where's my wife? Where's my husband? I can't find that because I got to walk around this place. Now there's a central bar, the pit's by the bar, around the pit are the tables, or the machines, and you can hear the thing. It's a much more pleasant playground style experience. So in 2024, consumers, again, are known to spend more money when they're enjoying their time. And so design in casinos is way different now than it used to be. Some of that's corporate. Some of that is they've got money to spend in marketing and people research, and they're finding out what works. And the old ways don't work. The old ways may have kept you trapped and felt trapped, but you weren't enjoying yourself to stay longer. So that myth is busted by, again, us being in 2024 and having more modern looks at how people react to their environment. And that's an interesting thing, I think. Another myth that I heard was this one: slot machine music is always tuned to the key of C. And I saw a video on this, and I'm like, really? That seems interesting because C is a very happy key, right? The key of C is happy. It's normal. It's what your kind of pop music you used to, right? And it keeps you sort of like, hey, you're always in a happy mood. And again, happy people part with their money. It's not true. I saw a guy interviewed on a YouTube video where he was talking about he makes the music for the games. Like, no, we do it in all the keys. What they do focus on though is this. The audio is digitized now. So it's not ding, 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 ding. There's music and there's the that sound when you win a slot machine. Everything sounds great. It sounds modern. That big boom, boom when you win, right? That sounds like a video game, like alien gunfire, and it's fun, right? They're made to be fun and uplifting, but they aren't tuned to the C. Now, the thing to note here is everything on the slot machine sounds awesome, right? You'll notice that there's no sound played when you lose, right? There's music playing on the slot, but there's no losing sound. However, there is a losing sound, and you got to know this, right? You hear the poof, the ding, 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 whatever you're hearing. You've seen people put in $5, you have $5 for a spin on the slots, or $5 press the button, and they win $2.50 back, right? You win back half your money. And what does the machine do? It goes crazy. The Buffaloes go running by, or Pat Sajak comes on and says, Wheel of Fortune, and you won half of your money, which means they took half your money. So it plays a song and it goes crazy when it takes your money, which is an interesting psychological phenomena. You're getting the dopamine hit when you're losing. That is a trick. That's not a myth. That's reality. They're doing that. Anytime it pays anything back, it makes the noise. And it shows the little video. That for sure is making you feel like you're having a good time. It increases your experience. It hits you where it needs to hit you, but you're actually losing. So remember that too, right? Whenever you're hearing the noise, doesn't always mean somebody's winning. And where they put the machines so you can hear them when you're playing at the tables, or when you're walking by, you're hearing all the bang, boom, pow, right? A lot of times that noise is the machine celebrating taking somebody's money because it only paid them back half what they bet. Interesting thing. So keep that in mind. It's a myth yet not a myth. The myth of the key of C is true, or not as a myth. The myth of the music being set to kind of put you in the right mood to keep playing, that's absolutely true. Another myth is this: card counting is illegal. I've watched enough videos and movies and documentaries on card counting. The casino presents it as though it's illegal. They bring the cops in, they can trespass you, they can do all these things to make it feel like you're breaking the law. You're not. Card counting is perfectly legal. This is a myth that the casinos like to put out there. Now, I would say this to you: it's a skill, and it's not cheating. So arm yourself with the information about this kind of thing. And maybe you're not a card counter, but maybe you know one. Here's the thing, right? The casino gives you information. Like, they're showing you the result of the hand, right? You're seeing all the cards that got played. You know how many cards were in the shoe. You just did math. You're using your brain with information presented, and you go, okay, well, I think there's more face cards left. Let me go and change my bet levels, right? That's all you're doing. But they still don't allow it, right? It's a skill that you've developed. All those things are true. It's legal. It's a skill, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to let you do it, right? It's against their policy to card count. And they have taken away your ability to do it in a number of ways. We'll talk about those here in a little bit. But yeah, card counting is absolutely legal. Matter of fact, in New Jersey, they cannot kick you out for card counting. They've actually made it physically legal and illegal for the casinos to discriminate against the card counter. So that may have been a myth, and you may have seen people getting their tails kicked in movies. It doesn't happen. But you can get trespassed. You can get kicked out of a casino, and they can refuse your action if they don't want your action, and that's one of their tools. But card counting, 100% is legal. The illegality of it is a myth, and the casinos will like to put the heavy hand. If you're a new card counter, know that going in. The next myth I got for you is this one: that machines are hot and cold, right? And I say this to you all the time. We talk about craps, right? No such thing as a hot or cold table. The RNG, I say, would like you to hold its beer. Machines don't go hot and cold. Machines are purely random. And we'll talk about the random number generator here as we go, but the random number generator in the slot machines is going to do what it's going to do, okay? It's predetermined what's going to happen. So not predetermined in terms of are you going to win on the next spin. When you press the button, the RNG determines a result, and then you get to see the video. What's happening on the screen is not really what's happening. It's a video based on the result. Machines don't go hot and cold. They are purely random, and the distribution of the random numbers in the machine is not unlike what you see when you see a craps or a roulette distribution, right? In craps, we know there are 2 ways to make a 2 or 12, 3 to make a 3 or 11, and you get that nice little pyramid bell curvy looking thing. Slots work the same way. There's a bell curve in the slot machine that determines wins and losses and how much you win or lose. The RNG selects one of those things every single spin, and that's what you get. It's completely random. There is no hot or cold machine. Now, it may pay 10 times in a row, happenstance. It's just the way that it works, right? So the RNG in the slots, again, would like you to hold their beer because they never go hot or cold. The same can be said that a machine is quote unquote due. Now, this is partially true and partially false, okay? First things first, you're owed nothing. You're owed nothing ever. You're never, ever, ever owed anything by a slot machine. My dad used to fall into this fallacy. My dad was a believer, especially on poker, video poker machines, where he would say, look, the machine is supposed to pay you 98%. If you sat here for 2 hours and it's sucking your money out, it owes you money. It's got to get itself right, because legally the machine has to pay out 90% or whatever the number is. It's got to get itself right at some point. And the RNG decides ahead of time if you're going to win, right? On a regular slot, you're like, okay, press the button. It goes, RNG runs, this person's going to win X dollars, and it pays you the money. You have no say in the matter, okay? On video poker, however, that's different, because the RNG could say, okay, we're going to give a winning hand to this person, right? We're going to give them 3 jacks and 2 garbage cars. And the person is going to select the 3 jacks and take their winnings. However, in that game, the person can make the decision to not take the jacks, and then they lose the hand. that they were supposed to win. And the machine goes, well, shit, you were supposed to win that hand. Now it knows, its tracker knows that it's behind. So it will increase the probability of a future win, right? It just changes the distribution of the RNG, but it's still an RNG. You'll get an extra win at some point later on because it does have to catch up, but it doesn't mean that it's behind and it's going to pay you right away. It never owes you anything, okay? The RNG, again, hold my beer. And on the same thing, the payback or the return to player percentages are meaningful. This is another casino. This is kind of a trick that they play. You'll see the 98% payback on some of these machines. Oops, what's going on? I went back a screen. What happened there? Here, you'll see the 98% payback, the signage, right? And it's true. And all of that means is this: over the course of infinite rolls, 1 million rolls, 998,980 of them will be winners. That's all that it means. It does not mean that you are going to put $100 in and only lose $98. It's not what that means. It means that over the course of 1 billion rolls, the law of big numbers, that machine will pay back 98% of what it takes in. It's a guaranteed 2% take. All of what it means behind the scenes is that the random number generator, its graph of payments might be steeper in parts, right? And the way that the random number generator works, it pulls a number, it looks at the graph and says, okay, I pulled the number 73, whatever, 73 means a win of $2.46, or 73 means a win of 104% of what the input amount was, okay? That's what that RNG means. When it's 98%, there's more of those in there. There's more times where it wins 102 versus losing 98. You follow me? That's the only difference. It's still random, which area you get picked in, the way the RNG works, it's all random. And again, you might win 10 times in a row. You might hit the jackpot, okay? Over the course of another 1 million rolls, if no jackpots get paid, or if the right number of jackpots get paid, the meaningfulness of that jackpot is reduced. It's just like in craps, we talk about the perfect pyramid never forms, right? Especially in small samples, but in bigger samples, if you are throwing way more sevens than you should in a short term, over the long period of time, that will equalize itself out. Slots work the same way. The RTP, the payback percentage, is completely meaningless to you. It's still random. It doesn't owe you a thing. It does not mean that the longer you sit there, you're going to get back your money. And it's a suck job. People think, oh God, 98% payback, cool. I can't lose much money. You can still lose that whole $100. The next person might win 102. The next person wins 102. The next person wins 102. And over the course of time, 60 people come through there. The machine's paid back its 98%. It took all of yours and gave them all a little tiny bit. That's how these things work. So don't get sucked into the payback or the RTP of a machine. The way the RNGs work, that's not a thing. So it's better for you when they're higher, right? The rate of winning, the amount of wins are better, but it's not a guarantee that your session is going to be a win. They work law of big numbers, you work law of today. And that's how that works, okay? Next, comps cancel out the house edge. Another myth. And again, I think this myth is perpetuated in 2 levels. I'm going to go ahead and show you something here really quick. Let's go to this view. I'm going to go to casinogaming.tv. I'm going to bring you to the comp calculator. We're going to go to tools, comp calculator. I'm going to zoom way in here. The comp calculator that I've gotten here will let you put your bets in and show you what this works like. Okay, let's pick one. Let's do on roulette. Let's go the red black on a 00 machine. Let's bet $100. Let's say that we're going to get 50 spins an hour over 4 hours. Let's just do 1 hour. 1 hour of play. Okay. 1 spin per hour. Here's your comp value. Okay. We know your expected loss of that $100 is $5.56. That is the house edge. Okay. Your expected loss for the bet is $5.56. Your average daily theoretical is $5.56. That ADT is the expected loss for all your bets for the whole time you're there. Your comp value is about 1/3 of that, depending on where you play, 1/4 to 1/3 of your ADT. If we're at a roulette machine or a roulette table and we're getting 100 spins an hour and we're there for 5 hours, okay, you're expected to lose about $3 grand. Your comp value is about $700. Okay. The comp value does not negate the house edge. The house edge is what it is, your expected loss, and the loss that you will experience over time by playing only red for $100 is $2,700 if you played for 5 hours with 100 spins an hour. That's what's going to happen to you, but this is the truth of casino gambling. That's what will happen to you for sure. So this notion that comps cancel the edge is not true. Now, you may get rooms that save you a ton of money. You may get meals that may save you a ton of money out of pocket. That's all good. What is it designed to do? What we said earlier, keep you happy, keep you there. If you're happy because you got a great meal for free, if you're happy because you got a great show for free, if you're loving your experience because your host is awesome, and I'm an awesome host, then you will stay longer. And you will stay, instead of $100 on red for 4 hours, you'll do $100 on red for 8 hours. You'll double your time there. And guess what? Your ADT goes way up. And they give you more food, keep you happy, and you start burning money. The comp does not cancel out the house edge. It augments it. It makes your life a little bit better. You don't got to put money out of your pocket, but trust me, you're paying for that. Now, it cancels part of it out. You can see you're getting some comp value out of it. It takes a percentage of what your expected loss is, but not all of it. And I invite you all to go to casinogaming.tv, hit that calculator, put in your bets, put in what you do, put in 640 across on the craps table, and you can look at your ADT. You can look right there at how the casino calculates what kind of a player you are. 96 across on a craps table for 2 hours. You can put those bets in, and it will show you your ADT is about $35. You're worth $35 to the casino when you play that kind of bet. That's what you're expected. So make sure you know how to calculate it, and be aware that it feels like the comps are canceling it out. They're not. They're giving you a little bit of a spiff, but most people give it back. The $600 that the black level red roulette player got, that they gave back in terms of comp value, they give it right back. Gamblers are degenerates. You give it back. That's why I tell you all the time, be smart, be in your head, okay? Our next myth is that, and I think this is our last one, is that you can win. And this is going to be the one that makes you sad. You think you can win. I will tell you this, in a fair game, you could win. Fair game meaning, red and black are a 50-50 game, and you got paid 1-to-1. It's not a 50-50 game. It's a 48% chance of winning those bets, not 50-50, because you got the greens, right? The game isn't fair. Craps isn't fair, right? The way that the bets pay is not fair to you. Blackjack at 3-2 or 6-5 especially, not a fair game. In a fair game, you could win, but the casinos don't play fair. And that's okay, actually. It's okay that they don't play fair. I've said this before. I don't care about the house edge. I mean, I care about it because you lose money with it, but the house edge to me is no different than the supermarket marking up the ice cream. It's the same shit, right? There is going to be things that have a low house edge, like the craps pass line bet, or baccarat. It's like milk, right? Nobody wants to drink straight up milk. It's boring. Doesn't taste good, right? High house edge bets, like the prop bets in craps, like the single number in roulette, like whatever, that's like chocolate ice cream, right? Sometimes you need a little bit of that. And the casino charges you more for the bets that are juicy, right? 22% house edge on the ATS bet, 22% on the ATS bet, right? It's a juicy ass win, 150-1. It's the chocolate ice cream of the casino, right? It's okay. Let them have their edge. It's fine, okay? But know that the edge means they aren't playing fair. Now, again, you can also go back to the 50s, right? Were the dice always fair in the 50s? Were roulette tables not biased in the 50s? I don't know. Today they are. Everything today is highly regulated. We talk about the RNGs. We can talk RNG and bubble craps too. I got some information for you there. The RNGs, the way that those things operate, highly regulated. There's no unfairness to that. They trust me. Caesars Corporation, who owns like 60 hotels around the world, there's no way that they are screwing you on the slot machines or on bubble craps. There's no way they're putting in something that's going to be fixed so you lose. They already have the edge, okay? That said, they have an edge. You are not permitted to have one. They will not tolerate any advantage that you have. None, okay? Let's look at the things that they do to eliminate your advantage, right? What are the games where you think you might have an advantage, right? Slots, you have no advantage, right? Of course. Roulette, there can be an advantage gained in roulette if you have a dirty dealer, right? You know this, that can bias the wheel. They can bias the outcome. There's countermeasures in place so dealers can't do that. You can have dirty dealers in blackjack and baccarat. We've seen what is the name of that group? I forget their name. They got a bunch of dealers hired and they were screwing the casino. That they won't let that happen, right? Those people are going to you straight up cheat, you're going to be out. But look at craps, right? And look at actually we'll go to blackjack first. In blackjack, right? Card counting, right? That's an advantage. You can flip the house edge from being 0.5% to a +1 or 2% your favor. Take that profit away from the casino. Card counting does that. It's an advantage for the player. I mentioned before, it's not illegal to do it. It's legal, but the casino will not tolerate it. In the old days, grab you by your shirt, escort you out, right? Some casinos still do that. Local tribal casinos will still I've seen people physically removed for card counting, right? They won't tolerate it. What do? What's the countermeasure? Shufflers, right? Now they have auto shufflers. There is no deck penetration. The deck penetration now is 0 on all the blackjack games, right? No more card counting is a thing of the past, right? Unless you're playing a single hand deal or a 2-deck hand deal, there's 0 deck penetration. Card counting is a thing of the past. They have eliminated it. They will not tolerate you having an advantage. In craps, used to be you could slide the dice. You weren't allowed to, but people could physically slide the dice. There used to not be alligator walls. Okay. When they figured out that people could throw the dice, legitimately slide, spin, control off that back wall, what did they do? Bouncy tables, alligator skin. They have eliminated your advantage. They will not tolerate you having any kind of an advantage. There's speed bumps in some tables I've seen. The Sahara in Vegas has got speed bumps on the felt to stop sliding. They won't tolerate it. They will not let you have an advantage. Okay, the casino already has an unfair advantage over you with the house edge. They will not tolerate you gaining any ground on them at all. So to think that you can win is a casino myth. The lights, the sounds, the slot machines make that great noise. People are high-fiving and they love it. They love it when people win a little bit of money because everybody goes crazy. Trust me. Unless you are super lucky and super diligent, smart, and disciplined, you have no chance. Okay? Discipline, money management, bringing your brain to the game, even when you're ahead, you can win often. Once in a while, you may win a lot, right? That's the story of my life. I win a little bit often. I have a couple of big home runs. Over my life, I'm probably ahead. I know I'm ahead. I'm not saying probably, I'm ahead because of that, but not because I beat them at a fair game, right? I've just not let them destroy me, right? I won't let them destroy me. I'll take a loss here and there. I will not get my ass kicked. But can I win? Am I a regular guaranteed winner? No. And none of us are. It's just the way that this works, right? That house edge, that profit that's built into the unfair games is going to get you. It's going to get you. Shit runner go blind. They're getting their money and they have a way to do it. And all those things we talked about lead to it. And I think this all plays in my mind, if we go way back to our beginning points, which is this. If you stick to the principles that we talk about, right? If you have a strict set of win goals and loss limits, if you have a solid strategy, and strategy to me is defined, where are my bets? How much are my bets? How do I handle my wins? A strategy that accounts for the winning times, a bankroll that accounts for your losses, that can withstand some loss and power you through some bad times to get to the wins. Those 3 things are super important. If you have a strong mind, if you're not a mental midget, like I say, if you're strong upstairs, if you've got discipline to walk, if you have knowledge of your game, if you embrace variance, you understand math, you can reduce all the noise, right? You can ignore the slot machine making the noise when you lose as a thing. You can ignore the music. You can ignore I keep going here for the cocktail, but you can ignore all that stuff and let the casino just have their built-in edge and not be succumbed to shove an all in all the games that you play. This is the key. Okay. It's not going to make you a winner. It's going to make you less of a loser. And I think that's super important. We have a grounding in that reality. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave us a comment here in the comment section for the video, but really better still, join us on Discord. Go to casinogaming.tv and hit the community link in the menu there and join our Discord. That's where me, other YouTubers, and all of our subscribers hang out. We sit there and talk strategy and just BS kind of all day long. It's a great way to get connected and stay connected and kind of interact with the team, learn about meetups and get-togethers and all that kind of stuff. So with all that said, again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time. God bless you, and I will see you in the next one.